Okay, just think about this for a second. Imagine you had to build a single database that could serve every single person on Earth all at the same time without ever messing up. It's genuinely one of the gnarliest challenges in all of computer science. And today, we're going to watch two absolute titans go head-to-head as they try to solve that exact problem.
So just to get a sense of the scale we're talking about, look at this number. 5 billion. That's the number of queries per second that Google's internal infrastructure handles, the stuff that this kind of database powers. That is not a typo. We're talking 5 billion requests every single second.
So the question is, how on earth do you even begin to build a system that can handle that kind of global pressure? Well, there are a couple of really smart answers to that question. And today, we're putting two of the biggest ones in the ring. Google's long-reigning champ, Spanner, and Amazon's brand new challenger, Aurora DB-SQL. All right, first up, let's talk about the champion, Google Spanner. For years, this thing has been the gold standard, the benchmark for planet-scale databases. And it makes sense, right? It was born out of Google's own insane planet-sized needs. So what's Spanner's secret sauce? Well, trick number one is that it doesn't live in just one building. It keeps multiple perfect copies of your data in data centers all over the world. So, if a whole data center in Europe has a catastrophic outage, no big deal. Your app just keeps on running from another location without skipping a beat.
And what happens when you get more popular and traffic starts to spike? With Spanner, it's actually pretty simple. It's horizontally scalable, which is just a fancy way of saying you just add more computers to the network. Need to handle twice the load? You basically just throw twice as many machines at the problem. It's designed from the ground up to just keep growing.
Now, here's what's really cool. Under the hood, this thing is just mind-bendingly complex, right? But on the surface, the part that developers actually talk to, it speaks SQL, the same database language that's been around for decades. This makes it so much easier for teams to actually use this incredible power without having to relearn everything.
But this is Spanner's crown jewel. It's a guarantee called external consistency, and it is an incredibly strong promise. It means that every single user, whether they're sitting in Tokyo or Toronto, sees every change to the data in the exact same order. A transaction happens, and it's like it happened instantaneously, everywhere at once. There's zero confusion, zero ambiguity.
So does it actually work in the real world? Well, I think this number says it all. Systems built on top of Spanner, like Google's own access control system, have hit 5 nines of availability for years. That means it's down for less than 6 minutes in an entire year. That's just an insane level of reliability. But there's a new challenger stepping into the ring. Amazon has just pulled the curtains back on Aurora DSQL, and it's coming out swinging with some incredibly bold claims about taking on the champ.
And this right here? This is the claim that made everyone in the industry's jaw drop, straight from AWS's CEO. 4 times faster than Spanner. That is a massive, massive claim, and it immediately makes you wonder, how is that even possible? Spanner's already a technological marvel.
To understand how, we have to pop the hood and look at their architecture. Because the answer isn't about one being better, it's about two completely different philosophies for how you keep data correct on a global scale. And this is where things get really interesting. It really just boils down to this single, crucial difference. One of these databases is built on a philosophy of consensus, making absolutely sure everyone agrees before anything happens. And the other? It's built on a philosophy of optimism. Just go for it and sort out any problems later. So here's a great way to think about it. Spanner is pessimistic. It's like a very formal, very careful committee. Before any decision is made, it locks the data, calls for a formal vote to make sure all the copies of the data agree, and only when there's total consensus does it move forward. It's incredibly safe, but all that coordination takes time. Aurora DSQL, on the other hand, is optimistic. It's more like a fast-moving startup team that says, look, conflicts are probably rare. Let's just make the change now, and we'll double-check for any issues right at the very end. It's way faster, as long as you're right and conflicts really are rare. And you can see this philosophical difference in how they're physically built. Spanner nodes are these integrated blocks where the brains, the compute, and the muscle, the storage, are all bundled together. To get bigger, you just add more blocks. But DSQL breaks everything apart into these specialized, separate pieces. You've got query processors, you've got this thing called an adjudicator, and so on. So if you need more write power, you just scale up that one specific component. It's a much more flexible, granular approach. The technical name for what DSQL is doing is optimistic concurrency control. It's basically a database built on the principle of ask for forgiveness, not permission. It just assumes most of the time, different transactions aren't going to try and change the same data at the same time. By doing this, it gets to skip the super expensive and slow process of locking data up front, which is a huge source of delay, especially when you're coordinating across oceans. So let's follow a single write request to see why this is so much faster. Okay, so the request comes in. The adjudicator, that's the conflict referee, gives it a quick look. And then, and this is the absolute key, the change gets written to something called the journal, which is just a super fast log. The second it hits that journal, DSQL tells you, we're good, your write is done and safe. The actual, much slower job of updating the main storage, that happens later in the background. It never slows you down.
So after all of that, which one is actually better, Spanner or Aurora DSQL? Well, the truth is, that's the wrong question. This isn't about one knocking the other out. It's about picking the right tool for the right job. Look, if you're building, say, a core banking system where multiple people might be trying to update the same account balance at once, you absolutely need Spanner's safety-first pessimistic approach. But if you're building a social media app where you have tons of people writing new posts that don't really conflict with each other, and every millisecond of speed matters, then CDCQL's optimistic speed-first philosophy is exactly what you're looking for. At the end of the day, it's a fundamental trade-off. Spanner prioritizes absolute correctness through consensus, even if that means a little extra latency. Aurora DSQL prioritizes raw speed through optimism, making a bet that conflicts will be rare. The right choice completely depends on what your app and your users value the most. And that really leaves us with a fascinating question for the future. As our world gets more and more connected, and the amount of data just keeps exploding, which of these ideas is going to win out? Are we going to build the future on the cautious, guaranteed correctness of consensus, or on the blazing, risk-taking speed of optimism? The answer to that is going to define the next generation of applications we all use every day.